Tonight on Elon Local News.
Former President Bill Clinton was at Elon Law campaigning for his wife. We'll have the details.
And a president closer to home. This new head of Student Government Association is live in the studio.
And get out your maroon and gold. We'll preview tomorrow's Elon Day celebration.
All that and more. Elon Local News starts right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Brianna McClelland.
And I'm Rajat Agarwal. Earlier today, former President Bill Clinton campaigned for his wife at the Elon Law School in Greensboro. Our Andrew Feather was there and has the story.
Former President Bill Clinton was in Greensboro at Elon Law School today to campaign for his wife, Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. At the event, the former president discussed issues including renewable energy, voting rights, and student loan affordability.
Open your arms to the future. Don't run away from change. Embrace it.
President Clinton got rousing cheers from the crowd of predominantly young people when he discussed his wife's plan for college debt.
If we just allowed people to refinance their college loans tomorrow at current interest rates, 25 million of you would save $2,000.
At the event, Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughan addressed the crowd, telling them it is their duty as citizens to vote.
If you don't vote, you are part of the problem.
Several Elon students were among those that came out to see President Clinton, including A.J. Rochfeld, who said he's deciding between Secretary Clinton and Senator Bernie Sanders.
He gave me the impression that she's a change maker. He used the word change a lot, but he also gave direct examples of what she wanted to do, which I thought was cool.
Elon's sophomore Carlos Andino is a Republican, but said there was no chance he would miss this event.
I think we should be able to hear every side of a candidate's issues in platforms. So I think this is a great opportunity for students to come out and hear Hillary Clinton's side.
In the last Elon University poll released in February, Hillary Clinton led Democratic challenger Bernie Sanders 47-37 in North Carolina. In Greensboro, Andrew Feather, Elon Local News.
Back on Elon's campus, a handful of students, faculty, and staff gathered in the Great Hall to watch former President Bill Clinton's speech via live stream.
The Great Hall may not have been greatly filled early this afternoon to hear former President Bill Clinton speak. The short notice affected attendance, but the Dean of Campus Life, John Dooley, says it wasn't until late Saturday night when the Clinton campaign contacted the law school.
The university worked very quickly over the weekend to put this together because we know that these kinds of political events are important for our democracy and really a great way for students to hear directly from candidates and campaigns.
Last-minute notice did not affect freshman Kyle Thomas from attending.
I just figure anytime you have an opportunity to see a former president speak, that's a really good opportunity to take advantage of.
With the United States being a democracy, Dooley says he wants students like Thomas to be engaged in participating, whether that's voting or listening to politicians speak.
One of the goals that we have as an institution is for students to be responsible global citizens, and an important part of that is understanding role as citizens.
Regardless to political party, Thomas says the opportunity to hear a former president speak is an important opportunity.
From having been the president of the United States, you get perspectives and information that most people wouldn't have, and you would have the opportunity to share that.
Ashley Bowley, Elon Local News.
This is not the first time former President Bill Clinton addressed Elon University. He campaigned on main campus in 2008 for Hillary Clinton and in 1992 for himself.
And more on the 2016 presidential race. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump still has the most votes, but Texas Senator Ted Cruz is catching up after winning primaries on Saturday in both Kentucky and Maine. Also Saturday, Senator Marco Rubio won Puerto Rico, but is still significantly behind both Trump and Cruz in the delegate count. On the Democratic side, another debate and another night. Over the weekend, Senator Bernie Sanders made up little ground after winning primaries in Kansas and Nebraska, and last night in Maine. Voters in Michigan, Mississippi, Hawaii, and Idaho head to the polls tomorrow. Some candidates are already focusing their attention on North Carolina, which is one of 6 states that will hold their primaries next Tuesday, March 15th. GOP frontrunner Donald Trump held a rally this morning in Concord, North Carolina, and will hold another in Fayetteville on Wednesday. Ted Cruz announced he will campaign in Raleigh tomorrow at noon. And late this afternoon, the Associated Press reported that former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg will not run as a third-party candidate for president. Bloomberg had reported previously been considering a run for the White House.
And from national elections to Elon, our new Student Government Association Executive President Kyle Porro is preparing to take office. Paro has been a part of SGA since his freshman year. And Kyle, thank you so much for being here in the studio with us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, Kyle, congratulations on being elected. And having served on SGA for the past 3 years, experienced on SGA, what have you learned that you hope to implement and that shaped you to what you can do now as president?
Yeah, I would say that the biggest thing I've taken away so far is that to make real progress in the greater Elon community, you really need to be willing to make the connections with the outside groups. So not just focusing on who the senators are and maybe an idea that you have, but willing to go out and have conversations with other people and then taking action upon those, what the other students want to see.
That's great. And as you're taking this office, what do you see being the most pressing issue that you're going to have at hand?
Wow, that is a great question. Personally, I don't know if I'd say most pressing, but I think something that is going to be a big focus for all the exec and all of the Senate is going to be school spirit and building upon that, because there had been a lot of work in the past to build up the tailgating and the attendance to the games, and that kind of pittered off a little bit. And then we really want to continue that, work with the Phoenix Fanatics and get that school spirit, because there are a ton of different issues, inclusivity and sustainability and all that, but there's been a lot of work already done with that, and I'm not saying that should be put aside, but I think we kind of forgot about the school spirit and the pride for Elon, and I think that is something that really we can all rally behind.
Yeah, and just a fun one for you now, a little bit challenging.
Oh boy. Describe
your leadership style in 3 words.
Oh, wow, okay. Calm, cool, collected. Does that work?
And it rhymes.
There you go.
There we go. Kyle, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much again. Paro will be sworn in later this month on the 29th.
Elon Student Government Association is helping honor Professor Heidi Frontani. SGA said they will donate $500 to scholarships for the late history and geography professor. Scholarships is a nonprofit organization started by Elon 2015 graduate Yasmin Arrington. Arrington was one of Frontani's mentees while she was at Elon. The organization provides educational scholarships to children of incarcerated parents. We spoke to bill sponsor Robert Dennis about this donation.
These faculty and staff members have had such a big impact on our university and our students, and since we represent these students, we'd like to kind of show an interest that we care about the people who have passed away, and we want to show respect to their family.
If you would like to make a donation to scholarships in memory of Dr. Heidi Frontani, visit scholarshipsfund.org.
Spring break is less than 2 weeks away, and if you're going on a road trip, you're going to need to fill up your tank. Our Connor Delpre is here with the cheapest place to fill up. Connor?
Thanks, Brianna. Spring break can be an expensive time for students, and the last thing you want to be worrying about is wasting money on overpriced gas that could be better used for a nice meal at a sunny resort. If you're looking to save money, you might want to fill up before you leave Elon. The Kangaroo on West Haggard has gas priced at $1.68 per gallon, which is cheaper than the state average of $1.74. And if you're headed north for break, you may want to wait on filling back up until you reach New Jersey. According to GasBuddy.com, New Jersey has the 3rd cheapest gas prices in the country. If your destination is south of Jersey, fill up in Virginia, where the prices are about $1.60 per gallon. And if you're driving down south to get that much-needed tan, something I could use, look no further than South Carolina to fill up. Gas prices are some of the lowest in the country and should be easier on your bank account. With your Pump Patrol, I'm Connor Delpre. Brianna, back to you.
Thanks, Connor. If you are traveling a route that doesn't go through the states Connor mentioned, check out GasBuddy.com for your state's gas price averages.
Coming up, celebrating 127 years of Elon. We'll tell you about all the upcoming events going on to celebrate the university's unofficial birthday.
And how one Elon senior took her passion for helping others to the next level.
Welcome back to Elon Local News. Bree, it was a fantastic day outside. People sitting by the lake, doing homework outside. First time in a long time that it's happened.
Yes, it was absolutely beautiful. And our Rachel Ellis is in downtown Elon with your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Rachel?
Good evening, Brianna and Rajat. Well, it looks like spring has sprung here in Elon, North Carolina. I, for one, am very excited to switch out my winter coat for perhaps a t-shirt for at least the next few days. Now today we saw the lowest temperatures, that's right, the lowest temperatures that we'll be seeing for the rest of the week with a high of 66 and a low of 43. Elon, this is your time to get outside, go for a hike, I don't know, just enjoy the outdoors. So tomorrow we'll be seeing a high of 77, Wednesday we'll be seeing a high of 77, and Thursday and Friday we'll have highs in the 70 at 75. And Saturday we'll be seeing a high of 73 and a low of 54. So get outside, grab those hammocks, go for a run, enjoy this beautiful weather. Live from downtown Elon, I'm Rachel Ellis.
The third annual Elon Day is tomorrow, and Phoenix Spirit will be high on campus and among Elon alumni around the nation. Events will be going on all day tomorrow to raise money for university programs and initiatives. Events will include a special Elon Day celebration at College Coffee at 9:50 a.m., a toast for the 2016 graduates at 9 p.m. in McKinnon Hall, and a student party at 10 p.m. in Mosley. According to Assistant Vice President for University Advancement, John Barnhill, Elon Day is a special day that involves the entire Elon community.
Last year we had 2,700 gifts and about $700,000 donated to the university. This year we hope to surpass that.
Barnhill also told ELN that there are also a few surprises on the way for Elon, one of which will include an announcement of the university's rebranding initiatives. We will have full coverage of Elon Day in tomorrow's Elon Local News online exclusive.
Race in education can be a tough topic to discuss, but tonight, the Elon and Burlington community will meet to address just this in the final community connections of the academic year. The purpose of these discussions is to talk about difficult issues that affect Elon and Burlington communities. Tonight will be the third time this year race and education have been discussed at this event. Assistant Professor of Political Science and moderator of the Community Connections series, Jason Husser, hopes that these discussions have connected the Elon and Burlington community.
I hope Elon students get to know a more authentic version of Burlington, not just the Burlington they drive through and may see from outside their car window, but actually have conversations with people who live in our community.
The event is free and open to the public and will be tonight from 7 to 8:15 in McKinnon Hall.
With spring semester almost halfway over, summer is not too far away, and for many Elon students, that means getting an internship, or for seniors, a job. The Student Professional Development Center is hosting its annual Spring Job and Internship Expo this Thursday and will include 93 companies. The expo is a great opportunity for students to network with a variety of employers, from large international corporations to small local nonprofits. If you plan on attending, download the Elon Expo app to get the most out of your experience. Be sure to dress professionally, and yes, that means a blazer, a nice dress, or a suit. Bring several copies of your resume and be prepared to give employers a 30-second pitch about yourself. The SPDC staff also recommends researching the companies you are interested in before attending. The event will be held from 2 to 5:30 p.m. in Alumni Gym. For a full list of the employers that will be in attendance, check out the Elon Job Network. And for more help on how to get hired, visit the SPDC in Mosley Center or call 336-278-6538.
Coming up, how to plan the perfect last-minute spring break without breaking the bank.
And how one organization is collecting memories that will last a lifetime.
Welcome back. For many, it's a symbol of safety. The 35 blue light phone systems on campus are ready to be used by anyone in case of an emergency. We looked into how often these emergency calls happen and how useful the blue lights are for campus safety. Technical Services Coordinator Scott Jean says even though they're available, they might not be the first thing students think to use when they feel unsafe on or around campus.
Fortunately and unfortunately, we haven't had a lot of calls through them. A lot of that's due to smartphones now and technology on those and the LiveSafe app, because through the LiveSafe app, it actually has a blue light function on there to where you can call our office or even 911.
The system has been on campus since the mid-1990s, but just looking at the past 3 years, Jean says they've only received 13 calls total through the blue light phones. 2 were, quote, real emergencies, which were for medical and suspicious activity, and 8 were accidental or as a prank. The blue lights can be found in parking lots on campus, and with new construction technology, services plans to install them around the new buildings. You can find more information on the blue lights location and use their information on the website or find it at elonlocalnews.com.
If you plan to be a dancer at Elon-thon, Elon's annual dance marathon, it may cost you a little more this year. Each dancer has to raise $100 in addition to the $20 registration fee. This is Elon-thon's first year of having a dancer minimum. Senior Hannah Orth is Elon-thon's executive director.
We do ask that dancers raise $100 before coming to the event in order to ensure that everyone there is there for a purpose and that they put work into the event as well. Instead of just coming to come, they care just as much as we do about the cause, and that's what we are wanting to demonstrate through the dancer minimum.
According to Orth, 975 dancers have registered so far, many of whom contributed to the $27,367,000 raised in their 24,000 in 24 hours campaign last week. Students can register online up to a week before Elon-thon at elonthon.com. Donations are accepted throughout the dance marathon, being held April 8th and April 9th in Alumni Gym.
Many students participate in service opportunities in and around the Elon bubble, but senior Paige Lucas has made service her passion. For her first 2 years at Elon, Lucas immersed herself in her schoolwork, only volunteering occasionally at minor events. She then decided to accept a summer internship with Campus Kitchen and reignited her passion for helping others. Now, Lucas serves in leadership roles with allied churches and Campus Kitchen. With graduation only 2 months away, Lucas is not sure what her future holds, but she says her love of service will stay with her wherever she goes forever.
To volunteer just because I see how happy people are at Allied when people come in to serve them dinner, to help them in the food pantry, or help with office work, that I could be one of those people helping out in another place, even if it's not in Burlington, if it's back home or wherever I move to. I'm definitely going to be getting into service there.
If you are interested in getting involved with Elon volunteers, check out their website elon.edu/service or stop by the Kernodle Center in Mosley 230.
Spring break is only 2 weeks away, and if you're looking for some fun at the last minute, our Megan Ford has a few tips and tricks that may help you keep spring break as low budget as possible.
Thanks, Rajat. The two most important and costly things to remember about spring break are transportation and housing. If you're still hoping to travel to a destination a flight away, some helpful sites for you to look at are orbitz.com and expedia.com. These sites pull the best prices from different airlines and arrange them from the lowest to highest price. The only airline that isn't on Expedia is Southwest, so remember to look up their prices separately if you're using those sites. And as Connor said earlier, probably the cheapest way for you to get somewhere with just 2 weeks to prepare is get in that car and drive. Some great destinations near Elon that will probably have some warmer weather are Myrtle Beach, Charleston, and the Outer Banks. Asheville is also a great place to vacay in if your ideal spring break is enjoying the great outdoors. All of these destinations are within a 5-hour driving distance of Elon. And if you can't find a friend or relative to stay with, which is always the cheapest option, online sites like Airbnb and Groupon are great places to start looking at prices. You can put down how many people will be staying and price points to help narrow it down. Once you find the perfect destination without emptying your wallet, have fun and relax. With your spring break college consumer, I'm Megan Ford. Rajat and Brianna, back to you.
Well, it's not spring break quite yet. Elon Student Union Board created a new late-night alternative for students to pass the time until break. The event is called Friday Night Live. The event runs from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. every Friday at Tap House and features entertainment based on the hosting student organization. The Latin American Student Organization hosted a La Habana party, and there's been several live talent nights, ranging from comedians to singers. This Friday's event will be a poetry slam hosted by Sparks, Effect, and Creed. The full calendar of events is on SUB's website, elonsub.org.
And SUB isn't the only organization hard at work. Throughout the year, the members of the Phi Psi Chi, the Elon Yearbook, work tirelessly to document highlights of the past school year. Though not everyone knows it exists, the Elon Yearbook comes out every fall, and Editor-in-Chief Kim Honeyball has begun working with organizations around campus to get their name out there. The staff is made up of students who work to cover on-campus events from convocation and sports to style around Elon. Ultimately, Honeyball hopes this yearbook can help be a trip down memory lane for alumni who have graduated.
We take what every news organization does on campus and mash it into one thing that people can take with them. So for instance, this year we're going to talk about all the construction going on and the big things that have happened at Elon with Colin Jost coming and all those things that are really specific to this year. So when people pick it up in 30 years and they see it, they're like, wow, this is what happened while I was at Elon. That's really cool.
Anyone interested in buying a yearbook can do so for $66 online by going to elon.edu/yearbook.
I'm Justin Beagle, and after the break, it's the end of the era for the Elon men's basketball team. Find out why and where the Phoenix go from here, next in sports. Welcome back to Elon Local News. Losing stinks, plain and simple. And for the men's basketball team, Friday night's loss to the Drexel Dragons in the CAA tournament not only brought the end to the season, but also left the team with a bitter taste in its mouth. Now heading into the offseason, it's a time to reflect and a time to move forward.
The emotions ran high. Long faces slowly crept their way back to the locker room. A punch right in the gut.
They knocked us on our heels, they knocked us back. We did not respond very well to that. The game spiraled out of control.
And while the sting of defeat continues to linger, Coach Medini says there's reason to rejoice.
We need to celebrate the successes and the milestones of our senior class. They were tasked with a difficult thing to lead a team. In the last couple of years in a league we didn't know very well and tremendously. I think they've done an admirable job, and the milestone being the winningest class in Elon history.
The Phoenix will now say goodbye to 4 seniors, including Tanner Sampson, the all-time three-point shooter in program history.
He's a tremendous shooter. He'll go down as one of the best shooters in the history of Elon, one of the best players to ever wear an Elon uniform.
And for the returning players,
remember this feeling, and remember this season, and remember all the close games, and remember how it feels and why we came up short.
The team is now in the hands of juniors Luke Eddy and Christian Harrison, who said after the game that they wish they could have sent the seniors out on a better note and that they will never forget this game. And don't forget about the women's basketball team. This week, the 4th-seeded Phoenix will play the 5th-seeded Delaware Blue Hens in the CAA quarterfinals in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. The game is set for 2:30 this Thursday, March 10th. Our Alex Hager and Daniel McLaury will be heading up there and bringing you the latest on social media. Be sure to follow us at ELN Sports on Twitter for the latest scores and updates throughout the weekend. And that's all there is for sports this week. I'm Justin Beagle. Rajat and Brianna, back to you.
Thanks so much, Justin. Justin, the women's team was so close last year, a tight semifinals loss to James Madison. Who are some players that can maybe give them that little edge this year?
Shea Burnett has been outstanding this past year. She had that game winner against Delaware earlier in the season. They always like their big men in Malaya Johnson and Jennifer Rhodes. So really just feed the big players. Hope that Shea Burnett has a solid outing. I think they got a good shot. If they beat Delaware, they may play JMU again in the semifinals. Same side of the bracket, so we will see how it goes.
Thank you, Justin.
Stick with us for coverage on that tournament. We'll bring you on. Follow Dan and Alex Hager on Twitter. That's all the news we have for you tonight. Be sure to follow us on social media on Twitter and Facebook at Elon Local News.
From all of us here at ELN, have a great night, Elon.